Ooh, welcome to the stream. It is a very, very big week for me on Sorare. I was just next door building the lineups, and I thought I actually need to go on stream and show off A, how good these lineups are, and B, get a little bit of help. So if everyone could, let me know that you can hear me, let me know that you could see me, and everything's good, and we'll crack on with the stream. Before that, we'll just say to the people here nice and early. So, Whitfy, never know how to pronounce your name, but if you could let me know. Whitfy seems good. Whitfy Sorare, thank you for joining. Tangledberry671, thank you for joining. It's Hershey, thank you for joining, mate. And Lose Yourself, what's up to everyone? So thank you for all being here nice and early. I should really plan these things and more people would be here. But people do like to watch them after the fact. So if you are watching them after the fact, let me know and I'll continue with the surprise streams. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick to, planned out time periods. You can see on screen, of course, Red Bull Leipzig. Huge fixture against Bochum. I'd be lying if I say I didn't target it after I've seen, obviously you'd always target it, but especially after what Bayern Munich did to them. I think they won 7-0 it was. And Andy in the chat has already brought up some Wivy, thank you, that's the one. Andy has brought up some bad news in the chat. So let's start off with a little rant before we get into the lineup building, because this is why we play the game. We play for good scores. So I always forget where it is these days because I do it on my phone, but it's game week, so our results. The Leipzig stack versus Man City was never going to go well, but we were focusing on the weekend fixtures, as you know, just hoping for no injuries. I don't think any of them got injured, so that's a positive. Champion Europe was third priority this week. We actually decided to prioritise All-Star. A weird selection, but I just wasn't confident enough that all of these would play. Between Shimani, Camavinga, there's too much rotation, and they had a difficult away fixture to Napoli. Ended up with really solid scores, got a good captain, and I wasn't confident Hakimi would have a good game. But once all four of these put up a nice score, starting the game week, I was like, let's finish this strong. And we didn't. That's a really good score, to be honest. 33 when you lose 4-1 is a really good score for a right wing back, essentially. Very impressed by that, but I'm also not, because I'm going to get a tier 5 if I get a tier 5, because teams like Roma, Liverpool, teams like that are playing right now. So missing that to stream to you guys, but excited for the next team. And this is what Andy brings up. So I decided to prioritise All-Star because I was more certain of playing time, which is also funny because Julian Alvarez started on the bench, but whatever. It was a toss-up between Somerville and Dewsbury Hall for captaincy. They just, championship fixtures were strong. Went with the attacker because hard to know when Dewsbury Hall was going to score. Scored 2, got 100, didn't care, was happy with my decision. But Van der Voort, come on. I don't really do the whole woe is me post, because what I see people post teams like this where it's green score, average score, all right, a basically average team, and they have a yellow score like Hakimi, and they're like, oh, worst day ever, can't believe I get all the bad luck, and it's that's kind of just statistics, mate. But when I have and feel free to just think this is just me ranting regardless, and everyone's the same, but when I have the perfect replacement, Jan Sommer, 80 points, actually got 2 of him, could have used either in this spot, but I picked Van der Voort because he's a 95% chance of starting. I went and checked that afterwards. Is he really? And then I was like, but surely he rotates in league games. Is that what it is? And no, of the last year, 46 games he's been involved in, and he's only been benched once. And yep, that is tonight when I've played him. And he is obviously a new signing in the gallery. We'll see some other little signings here for a little spoiler. But yeah, signed him 6 days ago. Not for this fixture. He just happened to have the best fixture, most likely to play. And he's going to kill a potential podium spot because this 188, 71, 73 was a nice team. But on the positive side, it's only a limited team. It's not a rare pro team or a rare team. Kind of hype myself up a little bit. And on a negative side, I did see someone on Twitter just say that oh, no surprise he's been dropped. He's been in awful form. And I'm like, oh, is there a potential that I've just bought, not the top of Van der Vaart, but is there a chance that I've just bought Van der Vaart right before he's going to lose his position? Surely not. He's Van der Vaart, right? Like, he's one of the best young keepers in the world. So that's a little rant we're going to get out of the way. Then we're going to build teams like this, because let me explain it to you. Congratulations on your podium coming this weekend. I don't have that confidence. For me, like I said, either in the title or in the thumbnail, it's like, this is go time. You've got to make the right decisions this week. Part of the reason we're on stream doing it together. Ringstrom, thank you for joining, mate. So this is pretty much, so if I delete this team and click save, if I suggest a lineup, this is who Sorare is suggesting as a 78. I had planned this team out many times. Benjamin Hendricks was going to be in the extra spot because I just feel like a wing back does well in those sort of games. But since he's injured, it's got to be Lacazette, which scares me so badly with how bad Lyon are. Bottom of the league. They're literally bottom of the league. But I had, up until I was literally next door just making the team, I had a Openda there. And then I was looking at it and I was like, Openda's a 75% chance. Because, yeah, he's played so many games this season. You could easily rotate him in a game like this just to save some minutes. And if you're losing, you bring him on. So then I was like, oh, I'll bring in Dybala, who is resting on the bench tonight. Obviously, if he gets injured or something, if he comes on, yeah, not going to play him. But he's a double A, but I would prefer Openda. Just the way Roma have been playing, obviously, I watch most of their games. It's not been fluent enough. He did really well last game with a 91, but I actually think at home I have a lot more confidence in them. The Stadio Olimpico is always packed out, and they just, it's a home advantage. Every single team has it. Away, we'll see. I am still confident because Calgary, who they're playing, are bottom of the league, and I'm just trying to work out how bad actually are this team. What would be a decent budget for a Cat 240 rare team? So if you think you're probably playing minimum £50 a player outfield, so 200 plus 200 for a keeper would be 400. You'd need some depth in there. I think you're going to need £500 like minimum. If you're looking for consistency, you're going to start looking at £1,000. You need to be really shrewd with your business as well at that level. But yeah, Dybala versus Openda, first decision. I think I'm happy with Dybala. Percentage wise, actually they're both on very good percentages because I am an XP fiend at the minute. You should see some of these cards like Poulsen 10%, Blažević 10.5%, Danny Olmo's on 11%. We're in October and I've got an 11% player for the next season. This is why the collection game is so important to me. Like, my whole Sorare journey has been about it. I finally got to that 4%. That's why I've brought in Orban, Campbell and Forsberg this week. You can see them on screen here. Very reasonable prices for them. We bought Xavi Simons in last weekend. We got a huge trade deal secured. If you didn't know about it, I posted it on Twitter. So yeah, a lot going on, and even just like let me go beyond this team. So we're going to save this and move to, I would usually go to Champion Europe, but because I've got some really like cheat code averages, I think I can play 240. This was built by Sorare Data. I don't like that lineup, I don't think. What I prefer, Unai Simon. I actually play Klosterman because of the injury to Hendricks. He's like 90% likelihood to start. They've got a couple of injury issues. In here, Pellegrini's rested tonight, bottom of the league, just a no-brainer. Dybala's now playing, so now we're stuck between Fidel or Openda, and it's got to be Openda. So, in a 240 team, you can get away with someone being benched and still hitting it. So I'm happy to go with Openda, probably be guaranteed captain. And then we've got 55 points for a 240 team, which is essentially easily to play in Champ Europe, but because it can fit in 240, I think I can play it there. So some options here. Remy Cabella, but they're playing Lens. Wow, did not realise how bad Lens were doing this season in the league. Obviously just beat Arsenal, but they could be fatigued. Remy Cabella was arrested at the weekend, 13% bonus. Is this a no-brainer? Or is DeMarcos a better choice? 69%, wing back on good form. This is essentially what we're looking at, short-term form versus long-term form. So remember that, 45 last 40 for DeMarcos compared to Remy, who is a 60 last average, but the last five's inverse. Last five for Remy Cabella, 56, last five for DeMarcos, 64. And he has got 2 assists in his last, 4 games, which is, last five essentially, which are really going to stat pad. And Remy's almost done the opposite. So I think I've actually just convinced myself, speaking about it here, that it's got to be Remy, and hope he brings back the assist meister. I mean, look, 1 assist against Ren. Yeah, what are you doing, Alex? Come on. Let's just play smart here. It's Remy Cabella. He's actually in choice for captaincy. But like, can we talk about a cap 240 team in rare that's like that? Because even though Unai Simon's on F here, that's just not true. Like, there's no way he's an F. It's only because they don't think he's good. What would you call it? Like, I'll pull it up here. They don't think he's good cost efficiency, and they think his scoring history is bad. Firstly, how is his scoring history bad? This is why you just got to take a pinch of salt with some of these things. I understand he shouldn't go in a cap team, is too high an average, makes complete sense. But the idea that his scoring history bad, don't get it. Why is PSG not covered this year? PSG are covered. The reason they're not licensed is because it's an agreement with the clubs, and they obviously haven't signed a deal yet. Could be cost reasons, could be Sorare not wanting them, like so many different reasons. It's probably most likely a cost issue, and Sorare still working on it, so it doesn't mean they're not coming back. But yeah, Unai Simon's gone 65, 81, 89, then played a really difficult derby match against Real Sociedad and put up a 12, which, yeah, is absolutely awful, don't get me wrong, but, his scores are good, like his average scores are good. So loving him in there, loving Klosterman as a little cheat code. This is why you do collections as well. You get these sort of things. Pellegrini, rested, should play. It's between them two for captaincy. I am very home biased. So is that 240 on the dot? Oh, wow. I'm going to put that team in right now. If a team lines up to 240 points on the dot, it just... is that exactly... Oh, no, I've got Campbell to consider in midfield. So, yeah, Campbell's a bit of a risk, though. So in this team, there's 1 person risk so far, so I'm happy just to do this. And we can captain Openda? Again, this is why I need your help here, because so yeah, Ash, if you can make a decent cap 240 team for £250 in the J League, and it's about to end, it's difficult to say if it's good value or not. I don't really like the idea. I think they've already crept up in price a little bit, but I haven't paid too much attention to J League markets recently. But yeah, if you're telling me £250 and you're going to get 5 games of utility, trying to hit the thresholds, or I told you, £500 and you can get the rest of the season trying to hunt for utility, you can win rewards. Well, that ETH that you win, you can put into a J League team, so that when the new season comes back, you're also going to have 1 available there. That's like the prime scenario, but you do have to be good at Sorare. You have to get the thresholds consistently. So yeah, up to you if you're good enough to do that. Otherwise, the low risk option would be the J League, I'd say, because they'd probably creep up in value. So even if you didn't hit any of the thresholds, they'd hopefully creep up in value a little bit, but you would also need to sell them to take advantage of that. So I lean towards the rare team if you're the European team if you're looking to do that. I'm going to sit on this for now. A captaincy in that team is really difficult because if Openda, I think it's Pellegrini. You've just got to look at the locks, percentage of starting. In a 240 team, you can get away with someone not playing, but your captaincy is absolutely huge. So, yeah, I'll be happy if Openda puts up 100, I think. That's a banging 240 team. That's exactly what I want to hear. I absolutely love that 240 team. Is it good enough to go in Champion Europe? Probably not. If you're comparing, like a Whale team, Alisson, Trent, Kimmich. Let's put a Kingsley Coman in here rather than a Kane or someone, and another cheap player like Remy Cabella. I think it's more likely to hit like tier 4, tier 5. Yeah, cap 240 if you are looking for it. I think second division's a great way in. Like, there's some really decent priced cards. Championship, I'd say, is a bit inflated. But if you look at, like, what's one of the teams I like in La Liga 2? Couldn't really show you last year's, or Fidel's team's quite good. Well, they're not quite good, but Elche should be performing a little bit better. Like, a few of these players put up decent scores now and again, but they are in awful form. So you probably want to pick someone, a team that's coming into form. Anyway, you can do this yourself. It's who you want at the end of the day. So another point I want to raise, Blazwicz he has here as 80%. He thinks Gulaski's got probably a 20%. Does that mean I should play Gulaski in a 220 team so I cover myself so that, you know, for example, save. For example, here, you know, how many predictions are that? That is 2% chance of starting. So one person essentially thinks that Gulaski will start. Is that a big enough percentage chance where we think it's worth ruining a cap 220 team? And in terms of the cap team, let's just put together some of the good rare players, because we've got such good fixture options this week. Bernard, oh God, he's got a tough fixture. Sanchez still injured. Hassam Aouar will probably start on the bench, but will come on. Campbell is a choice there, obviously. He thinks the Leipzig expert thinks Campbell will come back in. And soon I'll be the Leipzig expert, but not just yet. Forward, he does think Poulsen will play. And we only have Fidel, who else? So, like, Poulsen could play. And then we've got any selection of, you know, we could play Vinicius Jr., we could play Lionel Messi, we could play literally anyone in that position. Like, I know someone's going to say Messi's injured, I know. But, like, that's a good team. And then if we play it with a limited goalkeeper and like a guaranteed to play type gig, we're going to need to sort. Probably it's Leroy, isn't it? 51%. Oh, I love that. Leroy, and then we can play a 45 average rare card. No, DeMarcus is 47. Oh, that would have been a perfect 220 team. That is a big shame. This guy's supposed to have a good fixture. Is he likely to play? 100% to play. I don't know why he has a good fixture. I don't know enough about him. So if I look at my cost, I think I've got 45 to use. This reward I've won, or they're playing Hamburger or Hamburg. Difficult fixture. Pellegrini's been chose. Klosterman's playing. Maybe Aouar, but he's playing tonight. It's really difficult to say. Really difficult to say right now. I think I would probably stick in Emmy Forsberg as well. That's a weird one where he thinks Forsberg will be rotated for Baumgartlinger, is it? Baumgartner. Like, I don't get it. He wrote in the notes here, which I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, may Baumgartner get a start instead of Forsberg, and we'll find out more tomorrow with the manager's interview, of course. So it'll all toss and turn until then, but I think maybe we just stick that guy in. Trust Sorare data for now. It's a 220 team at the end of the day, so just gives you a little more depth. And honestly, I haven't even looked at my limited cards, but you would suspect they have a couple good fixtures in there. I've got enough depth. If we could just filter by rares, that would get the job done a lot quicker. Mancini, Campbell, Poulsen, and DeMarcus. Did try it. I know it's too high a cap. So that's what we're going to look at the moment. I'd probably captain Campbell there, although he is a CDM. Maybe Mancini. Ugh, that's a bad team. I can't lie. It looks good on paper, but the more I think about it, it's not a good team at all. So those three, serious teams. And that's why we're streaming this. Because, Champion Europe, Blažević, partnering with Simikan. Simikan's actually shifting to right back, the expert says. So I could get those wing back scores that I used to get. And he's shifted for a weak opposition. And then we've got a weak opposition. So we've got Xavi Simons, or Simons, surely the big man can perform for us. Lacazette, a question mark, but he is only playing Lorient, surely. And then Dybala, Mr. Reliable for me. There's a lot of hope there. Let's put it that way. Okay, time to look at limited. I prioritise Champion Europe, as you might know. Okay, so Jan Sommer just seems like the perfect Champion Europe keeper. Even if I had the choice to get someone else, I'm not sure I would. How Donnarumma has a better scoring history must be broke, because Jan Sommer is on a fantastic scoring history. I know, because I use him every week. And then we're going to pick the highest XP. Leading on, Hakimi or Koundé. I think scoring history might actually be how opponents score from this position. So it's right backs score really well against Rennes, and that's kind of how it lines up. Which I don't know if I agree with this whole scoring history. It depends which team they're playing. It's everyone to themselves. I think I prefer Koundé slightly there. I'm not sure on the rotations here, so I'm going to have to do a quick expected scores. Just my players. Am I on the blast page or something? What's going on here? Why is Tom Rogic there? He's just retired from football. Let's see what happens after this loads up. Let me know what you think of the new setup as well, because I've got a new mic, got some lighting, cameras maybe in a slightly better place. Always had a decent camera, I thought, which is good, last year or so. Let me know what you think of the new setup. There's obviously the stream overlay. I don't think I like the stream overlay too much, to be honest. I might get rid of that, but yeah. I just want to see my players from limited. I don't find these buttons work too well, but let's just filter by expected score high. Oh, Play Sharp is trying to mess with me. So let's just look up lineup predictions in Spain. Oh, can I do the searching? No, searching's broke as well. Quality. That's what I want. We want high quality. High quality looks, high quality audio. Jesus. Right, La Liga. Barcelona predictions, are they in? They've got such a good fixture. Koundé's a 75%. Hakimi's played a lot of games as well, to be honest, but I don't think they've got the depth to rotate at the minute. I think there's a couple of injury issues. Oh, and they just got absolutely hammered by Newcastle, let's not forget that. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to end up playing them both, but we'll just see what Jules says there. Okay. I don't like this. Midfield options are not the best. So, what team is Real Madrid going to play against Osasuna? What does the expert say? Man, Play Sharper is really slow at the minute. But it'd probably be Enzo for safety, but that makes me want to prioritise All-Star because I know I'll have Szymanski. So if we were to prioritise All-Star instead, and this is how you should be a bit fluid with your team selections. Jan Sommer's going to go in again. Defenders. Oh, we got Trent. Why was he not coming up? Because people don't think he'll have a good game against Brighton. I don't think he'll keep a clean sheet, but I think he might score a lot of goals. But he's probably not a back selection then. Jules Koundé if he plays. Then we've got Seb Szymanski, AAA, guaranteed to go in there. Julian Alvarez was rested, but he's playing Arsenal. Dwight McNeil, not sure I can trust. Everton, I've got no forwards. Vinny Jr. Surely he's coming in to save the day. Yeah, I mean, Vinny's just back from an injury. This is good. Partnering up the Real Madrid, Barcelona boys. In that extra spot then, is that Hakimi spot to nail down? Drewsbury Hall's been on fire. I just don't have that trust in Drewsbury Hall yet. That is a great limited team. Okay. So something like that goes there, and then Champion Europe wouldn't be too weak because we've got some decent... Like we could still play Jan, then drop in Trent. Or Frimpong. Frimpong, I assume, was rested. Enzo, Shimani, Camavinga. It just depends out of Camavinga and Shimani who's likely to play. I think Shimani's played the last two. They are playing Burnley. Maybe Enzo's a good choice. Then we can drop in Spider-Man, Julian Alvarez. Oof, I don't really like this champ team, I'll be honest. Then Frim. Then right down the list to Frimpong, is that the option? Okay. Trent's going to either make or kill that team, so... But he's playing tonight. Why is Trent playing tonight? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And 270 would be next. I'm just going to suggest a lineup here. Ooh, don't like JV Era, but everyone else is really good in there. 57 average. It's like a Camavinga, isn't it? Someone's asked here, or Ringston's asked, when is the best time to move from limited to rare? I don't think you need to. Like, if you're on a budget of £230, as you say there, there's no rush. Like, in rare, you're going to be trying to really fight upwards. It's going to be really difficult on that budget. Just keep grinding away in limited. Like, the prices are good. I think too many people speak about limiteds like, oh, inferior to rare. Like, they're almost exactly the same product, just, 10 times less rewards, 10 times less supply. They move like almost in the same direction in prices as well. Like if, when limited prices were going down in, the crash, rare prices were going down as well. It's only like that really, high level uniques and super rares that kind of are priced individually because it's, only a certain amount of people that can play with those cards. But yeah, that's a really strong team as well. I like that for 270. I've got a lot of options to be fair, but I think that is a short and sweet, this is a very important week for me. Voicing aloud some of the decisions. I think, pending nothing going wrong and no news coming out that means someone's more nailed than someone else. I'm pretty happy with those rare teams. So rare pro, love. 240 rare, love. 220, it's all right. So yeah, I want to thank everyone that did join. When is the giveaway for Vinny ending? It is ending at Christmas time. I would do it as a little Santa thing. So in order to win Vinicius Jr., just any content I put out on this channel, all you have to do is drop a comment on it. So if you want to wait around after this live is finished and you drop a comment, that's one entry. You can't just spam comment, it's one entry per video, but it helps those that, drop like, subscribe to the channel, are constantly there. Yeah, so that's how you win Vinicius Jr. And on top of that, with all the videos I put out this year, I'm probably already on like 30 or something. It's only been since the giveaway started, but it's probably about 30 videos already. I'm going to be giving away more than just him, like most likely. It's to give back at Christmas time, and it's to give back to you guys that, allow me to do this and have fun and join for my random lives when I want to talk about building lineups on Sorare or football or anything else. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed. And if you're here after, definitely drop a comment and let me know that you are here after so I can do these and